What's going on, YouTube? I welcome you to It's Wild Out Here, the channel bringing you the wildest stories from around the world. And today ain't no different, so hit that like and subscribe button because it's wild out here, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Today's story comes from Indiana. Indiana man is arrested for murder after teenager is found in homemade box on his property. Nearly 6 months after Valerie Tindall vanished, the Indiana teenager's remains were found stuffed in a box and buried on a property owned by her neighbor, who has admitted to strangling her with his belt. Patrick Scott, 59, continued to wear that same belt in the days and weeks after the killing of the 17-year-old that happened inside his Indiana home on June 7th. "I put it around her neck, and I held on to it until she quit," Mr. Scott told investigators after he was arrested on Tuesday. Mr. Scott claimed he hadn't planned to kill Valerie, that it just kinda happened. He said it happened when he thought that the teenager was going to seduce him or try to blackmail him into buying her a new car. He was charged with murder and booked into the Rush County Jail after Valerie's body was discovered. Investigators have not clarified whether new evidence or tips led them to Mr. Scott's property. Valerie's cause of death has yet to be determined, but her remains were positively identified by the coroner on Thursday. She had worked for Mr. Scott, who owns a lawn mowing business. She told her parents on June 7th that she was going to work. Mr. Scott told police that later the same day, he drove Valerie back to his home in Arlington, a rural community about 30 miles southeast of Indianapolis. Her mother, Shayna Satterfer, said the family had trusted Mr. Scott. "She had a bond with him. They were friends," Mrs. Satterfer said. "She worked for him, but she also hung out with his family. His granddaughter was her friend, and we went places with them." Several searches were launched after Valerie was reported missing, including on October 11th when cadaver-sniffing dogs located the smell of decomposition in a pond near Mr. Scott's property. However, a search of the pond failed to turn up anything. A flyover was conducted on October 12th, during which police noted multiple areas of obvious ground disturbance. Search warrants in hand, nearly 40 federal agents and local law enforcement officers descended on his property on November 28th, where they found a large dirt pile. They uncovered a homemade box and immediately noted the smell of decomposition despite being wrapped in a tarp with duct tape used on the seams. Human remains were found inside. An officer on the scene described instantly spotting orange fingernails on the body that matched the color of Valerie's nails as seen in a photo posted to social media on the day she disappeared. Mr. Scott had purchased 2x4s and the oriented strand boards to make the boxes at the Home Depot in Greenfield the day after Valerie vanished. He later admitted to police that he bought the boards to make the box for her body, which had been in his office. The married man said his wife and daughter don't know nothing about the killing. The teenager's distraught mother says she had moved from Indianapolis to rural Arlington to get away from the violence in the city. "But we moved across the street from her predator," she said, adding that Mr. Scott acted like a jealous boyfriend and even tracked her daughter's phone. Valerie would have turned 18 on August 29th. "I'm doing my best not to have any hate in my heart, but I just don't think it's possible. How could someone take away such a beautiful soul?" Valerie Antz wrote on social media. A judge ordered Mr. Scott to be held without bond at the Rush County Jail and appointed a public defender to represent him during his initial hearing. This is a wild story, y'all. Let us know what y'all think about this man in the comments. And like always, stay safe and stay aware. And remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time on It's Wild Out Here.